We have someone in the house that will do justice to the topic. So, Modupe, please do the honors of introducing the guest.
Yes, and I said that to do this, I was going to say it in the Yoruba way.
Hey,
so
God.
we have Eniola Akinyemi, who is a youth advocate in the studio here with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks
It's good
for
to have
having
you
me.
on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So we're talking about youth taking up leadership roles and position. And I know back in the days, we used to have in schools, secondary schools, when you talk about head boy, head girl, you know, sports prefects, everyone is going for it. They want to be a prefect, they want to be social prefect, you know. Would you say that we have, as youth, we've lost that zeal? Or was it just a secondary school thing to be, you know, is it trendy or some sort?
To be the popular guy.
Popular, exactly. Or do you think we've lost it? Or it's just that we are not given the right opportunity?
Okay, permit me to say that back in the days, having the prefect thing was more of a title thing. A lot of young people feel leadership is about title, it's about position. So that's why you see them wanting to have that prefect title, because it gives you this upper hand in the school, particularly if you're the say assembly prefect or the head girl. You know, it looks like you have this entourage following you anywhere you're going. You feel like the Queen of England and all of that. So a lot of young people feel leadership is about title, it's about position. And after leaving school, many didn't actually, you know, they didn't own up skills required to actually take up bigger leadership positions. So that's why it is the way it is.
Okay, now, do you think, because nowadays I see that that kind of zeal is lost in our secondary schools. You know, you tell someone, I was discussing with a girl who was like a younger sister to me at the time. I was discussing with her like, okay, you look so churchy. Can you be a chapel prefect in your school? And she was like, no, I do not want to take up any prefectship in school. I do not. And then she said something in Yoruba that ile somi dujoye law, which means it is better you just be who you are than taking on leadership roles. And I was like, okay. And then I discovered it is the same thing with some of the people I have met. So what do you think is the cause of this?
It's still the same thing. That little girl who said ile somi dujoye law, she understands the fact that many people are taking up these roles not because they are capable, but because some of them are put in these positions because maybe they are fine, you know, they can represent the school, the outings, say they are vocal, you know, all of those kind of things. But when you talk about those having the skills, the required skill set to actually run these positions, they are not giving them the opportunity. So for that girl, I think she was right. She actually saw through the title thing and prefers to just be at the background. And there are so many of them like that in schools. The prefects are not even as brilliant as the ones who are not prefects. Because some of these prefects were selected by maybe a favorite teacher. You know, I like you. Oh, you're fine. So you be this, you be that.
In your opinion, are the major challenges faced by youth, you know, when it comes to getting into leadership positions?
Everything boils down to your first question.
Okay.
They need to see leadership as not title, that leadership is not the title.
The title. Okay.
We are all leaders in our own right.
Okay.
Because who is a leader basically? A leader is someone who sees a problem and prefers solution without seeking maybe accolades or something. Just do your thing. And so if you look at yourself, you find out that in some ways, in some areas, sometimes you've actually taken up leadership positions, leadership roles. So I think the first thing is youth to start seeing that leadership is beyond title.
Okay.
Yes, we have people in power, but you can do your bit where you are. So I would say, one, demystifying leadership to position. Two, acquiring skills. Like, a lot of people say they want to be leaders, yes, but what do you know? So, like, you need to build, youths need to build, like, self-development, like somebody said during the voice swap. Self-development, it's key. You cannot take what you've known 10 years ago and you want to implement it now. Times are changing. Like you said, the prefect thing and all that. Times are changing. So as times are changing, things are evolving, you need to groom yourself. So don't stay on, oh, I know it. I want to be, you want to be a leader, you want to be a leader. It's what you know. You did not read more books. You did not, you know, you did not even, like, how do I say, read up on other leaders in that field you're going to, you know, to be able to know how better to do things, but you're there seated and saying, no, you need to build your skill set. You need to know that leadership is beyond title. You need to know that getting into it, leadership is integrity.
Yeah.
Who you are when no one is looking. What if there is no social media? Would you still continue to do those things that you do?
True.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What if there were no cameras? Would you still continue to do that thing you do?
Oh, right.
What if there was nobody cheering you on? Would you still continue to do that good that you do?
Okay.
Are you looking for people who would, in turn, like, how will I call it, gift you or reward you?
Okay.
You know, that kind of a thing.
The reward you want to
yes.
get.
So looking beyond all of these things, these are the challenges. But the moment we get this off, I think we'll have better leaders.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me get something straight. Are you like on the fence? Some are ready, some are not ready. Or you are saying as youths we are ready, to take up leadership positions?
Okay, so I would say that, you know, not everybody can be ready.
Okay.
We cannot all be ready. So, and if you wait till everybody is ready, then we will wait for long. So I would say right now that the youths are ready.
All right. So years back, President Muhammadu Buhari passed the Not Too Young to Run bill, which kind of reduced the ages of people who could vie for presidency and some other political offices. So I remember talking to some people right about that time, and then one man specifically told me that he doesn't think Nigerian youths are really ready to handle leadership positions in the country because the people they are surrounded by, the kind of leaders they have in their different organizations, they are corrupt, and then somehow their subconscious mind tends to want to imitate what they are seeing around them. What do you say to that?
Okay, so like I said, we cannot wait until everybody's ready.
Okay.
Yeah, and out of a whole bunch, you will still find one that is good enough.
Okay.
So the fact that we have leaders that are corrupt doesn't mean you and I are corrupt. So if you and I are not corrupt, then it means that we are ready.
Okay.
And if we take the baton and we move ahead, other people will look up to us and then they imitate. And before you know it,
like
they're actually passing on. But if we sit and say, oh, our leaders are corrupt, oh, so I'm going to sit back, then every other person, the ones going up, looking up to you and I, would say, oh, the lead, and then the song continues. And then we still continue to stay where we are. But if we move, somebody has to move.
Yes.
We have to take the step. If you have to crawl, crawl. The Not Too Young to Run bill passed by the presidency, see the impact. Fine, we don't have a young president yet, but we see that a lot of young people are being put in power.
Yes.
Ministerial positions, commissioners, and all of that. That shows that we are going somewhere.
Yes.
And probably the next election, you see more young people coming out because they are inspired by those who came out the last time. And then before you know it, the old ones face out and you have youths in power. That's
Okay, so the discussion is on youth taking on leadership roles and positions, and we have Eniola Akinyemi here, who is a youth advocate. The phone line is open and you can call in to ask questions or contribute as the case may be. Let us know what you think. Just make sure that you are trying the lines. If the first one doesn't go, try the second one. Just make sure that you get through to us. Yes. Okay, now let me talk in terms of those youths that are ready to take on leadership positions now. Okay, what do you think? Do you think there's actually going to be a change? The change Nigerians are looking for? That we are shouting, we want change, you promised us change. Do you think that when these youths that are ready get that leadership position, do you think they're actually the solutions? Do you think we are the ones that are actually going to effect that change?
Okay, when youths, we are youths at the moment.
Yes.
If we get into power, that is something that has decayed. Let me use that word. Something that has decayed and you're trying to revive it. You're trying to make it look better. It's not going to take a day. It's going to take time. You understand? So if we as youths get into those leadership positions right now to try to effect the change, the change might not be so visible, but you will see it you will feel it.
Okay.
You'd see the change we're talking about in some constituencies, some states, some communities. You know, in our own niches, our little niches, you see everybody doing their bit, and that bit is affecting that community, that society, and before you know it, when we have so many people also towing that part, you would see the change actually, like, but like I said, something that has decayed, you cannot change it or make it new or make it fresh in a day. So it takes time.
A gradual process.
So by the time the change actually like comes, you and I will probably be old.
I think. Okay.
All right. So before I ask the last question, let me just quickly ask this.
Okay.
How do you think, when I was talking about the interview, that's when we came back in,
Yes.
I said the older generation, some of them do not believe in us, that we can do this. So how do we convince them? Because they still see us as their babies.
Yeah,
how do we convince them that we can actually do this?
Let's take a pause on that. Okay, hello.
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 Yes, I'm Aliu from Nasarawa State, Nigerian State.
Nice to have you,
Nice to
Aliu.
have you.
Yes, here is about the youth in Nigeria.
Please go ahead.
I think about the election of youth in Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay, I want to defend my question on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, definitely, presentation of the youth in the election of Nigeria, it will help the Nigeria to improve well.
Okay.
Just because the youth have the master in their body. When you see, even the president of leadership of Buhari,
Okay.
talking about the president of leadership of Buhari being the military regime.
All right.
You see, hello?
We can hear
you.
Okay, if you can see leadership, there's a lot of different on it. You see, in this present leadership, there are more people that are correcting. But here, we are getting there, but government did not do anything about it. For this stage, and look at the thing that the youth president can do well in the leadership of the nation.
Okay.
Okay, Aliu.
Okay, that is a lot of things that I can give about the leadership of the youth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aliu. Thank you.
If I could get what he was saying clearly. He was talking about the youth, their involvement in affairs of the country, making a positive impact.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like what I said, one bag, that the entire crate of egg is bad.
Yes.
Like, doesn't mean that maybe the next crate is bad. You could still get the good ones.
Yes.
Okay, so you were asking a question before.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the problem with the older generation is they feel intimidated.
Okay.
Yes, intimidation, and it happens if you see a lot of workplaces where you have young minds, and if the leader is an adult, like an aged person, you see them trying to shrink the young ones into a box.
Okay.
Like, they don't want them to go outside that box. They're coming up with innovations and they're telling them it can't work. In Yoruba, they'll say, like, this is how we do it. So, and then if you keep doing things the way you do it, you will continue to get the same results. So I think the problem is a lot of older people are intimidated. And when they feel intimidated, they're not ready to learn. You know? Okay, so some days ago I was with an older person and I was surprised. At 50, he was learning cybersecurity.
Wow.
Even though he was retired.
Wow.
And he was ready to know more. But how many older people like that we want to learn? They're like, cybersecurity, what do I want to do with it? Because to come in and all of that. But this person is learning. So there are still few adults who are willing to, you know, help young people go outside, think outside the box.
All right.
So I think intimidation is the problem.
So the final question.
Yeah.
We brought you here because you're a youth advocate. And then we've seen the good things that you've done in the society. We understand that while you were serving, you single-handedly donated a library to the school where you served. So kindly talk about that and encourage other youth, because of course this is where it starts from.
Exactly.
When people see the good things you're doing all around, they tend to trust you. If you vie for leadership positions, it will be easy for them to vote for you, to put their trust in you. So talk about it, please.
Oh, I'm shy. Okay. Well, during my youth service, you know, like every youth that goes for that 1 year compulsory service, I wanted to just like, hey, I'm away from home and let me do everything. But after a while, few months into it, I was posted to a village in Ibagwaka. Am I permitted?
Yeah, sure.
So I was posted to a village in Ibagwaka in Onsuka. In Onsuka, and I was there in that village, living like every other youth couple, like, what's our business? Let us go and do the teaching and come back. But I felt this unease in my spirit, like, Eniola, there is something you're supposed to be doing. Look around you. You are different from these people. And I remember ringing up a friend of mine, and then I told him, I said, I don't know what's happening. I'm having sleepless nights. What can I do? What's the problem? And he affirmed what I was thinking, like, Eniola, we are different from others. Look around you. There is something you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing. And then I sat down. I went to school that day. And then I went to the principal's office. There were stacks of books, you know, not taken care of. They don't have a library.
Wow.
These kids, they don't have money. Their major occupation is, you know, palm oil and all of that, like going to the market, selling stuffs, and Okada business. So I was like, these kids can't afford textbooks. See books here lying down. What can we do? What can we do? So, and then I went to the principal and I did the library thing. It wasn't easy. It was Malawi. You know, when everybody was lavishing with their Malawi.
So you were doing something to impact people's lives.
It was actually one of the 6 projects I did during my service here.
Okay.
Wow.
And it earned me the governor's award for the most outstanding couple.
That is amazing.
Yay!
That was in 2013.
Thank you so much.
So for the youths, I would say that wherever you are, you are, look around you. There is a problem that you can solve.
Hello there. Did you just enjoy that beautiful video? Don't worry, we have more for you. All you have to do is click on the subscribe button and ring that little bell for more notifications. Tea or coffee will be served for you.
They need to see leadership as not title. That leadership is not the title.